Hey everybody, what's up? This is Ashley, the owner and founder of Cool Ass Black Woman, and I am so excited because we are here today with actually one of my mother's inspirations, right? And this was something that had to come to fruition for me, and I'm super excited. I want you to introduce to you Miss Bose. How are you, was Miss Bozoma?
Hi, Ashley. I'm very well, thank you. I'm very glad to be here and in
Y-
conversation with you today.
yes, you badass.
Well, girl, and you cool ass, okay?
So like I mentioned before, for me, just really quick, I was introduced to you obviously through social media, but my mom actually purchased your book. And yes, and she was following you for a while, and she was just so enamored by your marketing background, because that's my background. My background is in marketing, and that was hers. And she was just like, wow, look at this woman. She's like trailblazing through the industry, and boom, here you are, right? But at the same time, my mom had no clue that I had already given you Cool Ass Black Woman product.
Right? Isn't that
Yes.
so wild? Yes, 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 yes. But
So
but I feel like, like-minded people always find each other in some capacity.
yes, yes, and it's like people say the alignment. I really do believe in that. Like the stars do align, and when you're supposed to be in somebody's orbit, you're there. Especially one of those things, you run into this person and don't even know you ran into them before,
Right,
and then now
right.
here you are.
Here you are, exactly. Because the thing is that, like, because we share marketing as a common interest and as common work, I'm always drawn to messages and stories. And, I am a sucker for a saying on a t-shirt. Like, girl, look. Okay, it's like, I think marketers are the worst at that because it's like just put some line on my chest and I'm walking out the door. You know what I mean?
Literally.
And when I saw yours, like I always feel like the messages need to be declarative.
Hmm.
Like it's not a question. I'm not suggesting, this is a declaration that I am. And so when I saw that, I was like, oh, please. I mean, I think I still have the mug. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I've got all the the merch to
Right.
prove that even in my house or if I go outside or whatever. And the funny thing is, over the years, I have worn it quite a few times where people have been like, "Where'd you get that?" You know what I mean? And especially on social, as you already know, it's like once I wear it, people are like, "Oh, wow, like that's such a great shirt. That's such a great message." And then for me, it's like, yes, it's a great shirt, but it's also a great message. Again, let's be declarative about things in our lives. I'm not suggesting to you, I'm not inferring and being like, well, maybe I am. No, this is a declaration of a simple fact that I am a cool ass black woman.
And there's no other question. And there is no other question.
Yeah. There's
And
actually just build on that. Like don't know that as the foundation and then continue to go.
yes, yes. Well, before we get too deep into our conversation, because I know I can tell this is going to be really, really good. Please tell the people who you are who have never seen
Oh
you or met you
yes.
before.
Okay, well, I'm Bozoma St. John. I'm a cool ass black woman because I have been the CMO of several Fortune 50 companies, including Netflix, Endeavor, the chief brand officer at Uber, head of global marketing at Apple Music and iTunes, head of global music entertainment marketing at PepsiCo, and I started my entire career at Spike Lee's agency, Spike DDB in New York City.
No.
I've been inducted into the Marketing Hall of Fame. Billboard has inducted me into their Hall of Fame and also named me Executive of the Year. Harvard has written a case study based on my leadership, and I've led 3 classes there to teach people about myself and how I got to do what I do so I can impart the knowledge to others. And then I created an online tutorial called the Badass Workshop because if you don't happen to go to Harvard, I still wanted people to be able to have the keys because I certainly don't want to just hold them. I want to open the doors to every castle and let us storm it. And then last but not least, I am the mother to a 16-year-old girl who I have been raising as a single mother for the last 12 years. But, we thank God for seasons because now I'm in a love season. And I am going to get married later this year. So my
Yes.
title of wife will be back.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very
I
much.
trust me, I saw a girl.
Look, I let me because let me tell you, I was standing on every rooftop. Okay. I was like, look, for anyone who thinks their time is done or it's never gonna come, it's like I just believe, as we've already stated, that alignment and God's timing is everything. And I needed to do other things in my life before this moment in my life appeared.
What a word. What a word. Because we often as women, just women in general, we often like I want this, I want somebody, I want companionship. But like you just said, like you had to complete a few things before you even got there.
Yes. Yes. Look, you know what's so funny about this, Ashley, is that he and I talk about this all the time, right? He's just turned 50. He's never been married, been in long-term relationships, has been engaged once, but never married. I've been married once, and as I said, I'm a widow. Um, and we say all the time, like when we first met, I mean, it was like, first date, and we just never let up. You know what I mean? There was no casual anything. We met and we were like, oh, okay, you're my person. And we often say that, like, oh man, wish we could have met earlier, you know? But the truth of the matter is that, like, I just don't think it would have been right for me to meet him earlier. There were so many things that I needed to focus on. And I believe that although having a partner would have been wonderful during, what I would call like the rocket ship moments in my career, where I could have used somebody to come home and like cry to or complain to, or to help me write a resignation letter when I wanted to burn down every bridge. You know what I mean? Okay, somebody to be like, hey, let me teach you how to box because I need to go into the office and fight people. It would have been nice to have a partner, and I often prayed for one in those times. Someone who could be a true partner to me. Um, but I feel like I have a testimony that it was necessary for me to be in those years alone, so I could tell other women that they can. I think we often so hang our hat on being, I'm every woman. It's all in me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like if you don't have it all, like somehow you're deficient. No, that's not true at all. So I tried to operate from a place of gratitude. And so even in those years when I was praying and I was like, Lord, where's my partner at? You know? I still said thank you for this moment. Thank you for these wins that I have in my career. Thank you for my amazing child. Thank you for my dope friends. Thank you for the love that I have in my life from so many other places that fulfill me. And I do believe that it was my testimony to live those years, to rise to where I did in my career, to be able to tell other women that they can do it on their own and that it is possible to do it on their own while also raising a child, while also being at the top of the corporate food chain and still be joyful. So, I just feel like I'm in a new season, but that season was necessary.
And it's funny because you're speaking to me. Let's just be clear. Everybody else, they listening right now, but you're speaking to me because you already understand, especially being in the business of marketing, the way you move, the way you have to be in front of people, go to meetings, do this, do that, do this, do that, kiss babies, you have to do everything, all of the things. So to be able to say I'm building this empire and rolling in for me, rolling into phase two for cool ass black women, it's like I really want somebody to say, hey, like, are you okay? Do you need anything? Oh, here's your coffee, Ashley. Here's your this. But also being okay with the fact of not right now. Not
Not
right
right now.
now.
And that is okay.
And that is okay.
It's really okay. And I do feel like, obviously as a society, we often judge single women for not being chose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like, what's the matter with you if you, God forbid, you pass 40 and you unmarried?
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that, and I think a lot of us, obviously, like in our generation, have moved past that, who feel like, okay, no, I can do it. But there's still that nagging thing behind you, which is like, until I am in a marriage until I have children, until I can't actually prove to somebody that I can be every woman and I can have everything, right?
Right.
And so even the title of like rich auntie, becomes almost like a second place award, you
Yes.
know, where
Yes.
I'm like,
Yes.
no, 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 we can achieve and we can be proud in that achievement. And I'll tell you this other thing, Ashley. Look, now you got me preaching over
See,
here.
that's what I'm talking about. Come on, bring it to us because we need it.
Look,
I need
look,
it.
look, don't make me jump up and run around here because then you won't see me and I'll just be running around my room.
Come on, you better give us a testimony.
But this is, and I know I'm taking it so many places, so
No,
forgive
please,
me.
please, please.
But so I'm on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, right? I didn't mention that in my intro, but I am. And a few weeks ago, there was an episode which showed me giving my daughter, who had just turned 16, a Maserati for her birthday,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That I gave to her on my own.
Mm.
And let me tell you, when the people were upset, okay, the people all over the internet, upset with me. They said
I'm curious to know why.
it's an extravagant gift. How dare I give a 16-year-old that kind of gift? Da, 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 da. And after my anger
Mm-hmm.
at seeing those messages, which was like, it was such a happy moment for me, such a triumphant moment for me. Girl, I had to put together a post and I was just like, not that I needed to explain myself to anybody, but I also needed to remind everybody that, like, look, I didn't fall into this. Like I worked hard every single day
Mm-hmm.
through grief,
Mm-hmm.
through loneliness,
Mm-hmm.
through battles at work, through self-doubt, through self-financing, through moments where I looked up and I'm like, now, if I lose this job, who gonna pay for this? Where nobody came over here to make sure my daughter was fed, to put clothes on her back,
Right.
or make sure that she had a ride to school. Nobody did that.
Right.
And so to be a Black woman a cool ass Black woman at that,
Okay.
who has succeeded in such a magnificent way that I don't need to ask anybody for permission in order to buy a quote unquote excessive gift for my 16-year-old. I mean, that just disturbs people's spirit.
It's so crazy. It's crazy that you say that. One, because it's your money and you can spend it however you want to. That's number one.
Make that point,
Right.
make it loud. Say it for
Okay.
those in the back. Tell them.
It's her money. She can spend how she wants to. But two, the Maserati has not saying that this is gonna happen, but it is a durable car.
Oh yeah.
It's a durable car, so it's nothing
Hello.
wrong.
Most luxury cars are, by the way.
And what people don't know, I mean, I may have, looked up the prices of these cars before, but it is not that expensive.
Yeah.
It is
Well,
not
in the grand scheme of things, and I recognize, but sis, this is the thing, is that if I was married to a ball player
It's different.
or I was married to a rapper,
It's different. But see, and shout out to you being a cool ass Black woman because you were able to do it on your own. And I just want to shed light onto what a glorifying moment that you have right now, that you're able to testify in this way, because let's be clear, you lost your home a year and some change ago.
yes, that too, sis. Yes, that too. And people were upset with me about that because they were like, why are you sad? Because it's your second home. First of all, let's get the facts straight. It's my third home. Let's get that straight.
Okay.
And the next point about it is that I also worked hard to get that home. Okay. And once it is gone, with every detail and content inside of it also gone, you would cry too.
Yes.
Like, you think you're just gonna sit there and be like, oh, well, I guess I still have a place to lay my head at night, so I'm all right. What are you talking about?
And it's those people that didn't experience that in this state. I mean, I live in Los Angeles myself as well, right? So I'm maybe 30 minutes away from the burn area, and I was even terrified. I'm like, okay, so the meeting point is in Vegas. What are we doing? Because you just did not know. And to the point of grief, right? What a double whammy. Because what happened was, what you're saying is the things that you had prior to your first marriage, and that you this everything was lost in that. And I could only imagine the heaviness.
Absolutely. Things that like I can't replace because they don't there's no way to replace them. You know, things that I've had for a long time, but also just the to see your blood, sweat, and tears just up in flames and there's nothing you can do about it. You know, it's just it's the most like helpless I've felt in a long time. You know, especially again, just going back to this theme that we're on, which is that like we are pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps, you know? And so I have become a woman who feels very much in power, you know, of myself and of my destiny. Like, you know, we've been preaching, and I do believe in God, but I do believe that faith without works is dead. And so I've been working while having faith and pulling myself up with my child on my back. And so you can't go into a situation like that and then be like, oh, it's okay. No, of course I'm grieving over it. Of course it's painful because nobody gave it to me. And another point about it is that, you know, and this is something that people don't like to talk about out loud, but I say it out loud, which is that, you know, that stretch of Malibu on PCH, there's not a lot of people that look like us in general, okay? Let alone be a black woman, let alone be a single black woman, all right? So, hun, I had to put that house in a trust that was inside of a trust so that nobody would know I actually owned it. Because that's how crazy it was to purchase it in the first place. I was denied 6 homes on
No
PCH,
way.
even though I had the money in the bank, even though I was offering more than asking. I still was denied house after house after house. And God bless my little Jewish realtor, okay, who, this fierce little woman, who was like, Bose, I hate to say this to you, but you're being denied because you're black. I was like, oh, yeah, darling. Oh, you think so?
Let
Because
me show you,
I could have told you
sister.
that yesterday. Like, you know, after the third one, I was like, oh, yeah, I know what's going on here. So I
Hmm.
had to get a trust inside of a trust
Which is
to
crazy.
buy the house. So I've jumped through all of these hoops. And so again, my point is not that, you know, we should be just hanging our hats on worldly possessions, but the fact that like if we're putting in the work to achieve, I don't know why anyone would poo-poo our success and make you feel like you don't deserve it, make you feel like you should be ashamed of it. I'm like, no, I'm gonna be boasting, okay? I'm gonna be outside.
Period.
Okay, telling everybody, yeah, this is my third home, and I bought my daughter a Maserati, and I take her around the world for her birthday,
And I'm about
and
to
I
get
will continue
married.
to do that.
And I'm about to get married.
And about to get married with 2 weddings.
I'm coming. I'm coming to one of them.
Actually, by the way, you should come
Yeah,
because you know,
no.
because I gotta get you to Ghana. So,
Please. Okay.
and one of them is in Ghana, and you are invited. This is official. Everybody listening, you hear that Ashley is invited to my wedding in Ghana.
I'll be there. Don't you worry. I'll send my details to the people. So thank you for sharing that, and I'm glad that you did share the moment of, you know, of what you felt when you posted something of achievement on, from your standpoint of doing it on your own. Because one of the things that I struggle with myself is the same thing. I struggle with posting and people seeing, because it's so and don't get me wrong, not everybody's like this, but it's like you know me as this one person, but with evolution comes this new person, and then the season, this happy season that I'm in, and the receiving season.
Yes,
I
come
am
on,
here,
come
and,
on.
and I want to show you. I want to show you who I am. I
Yes.
want to show you what I've been working on. I want to show you what grief looks like, because I did lose my mom in 2024, right?
Oh, I'm so
Thank you. So
sorry.
no, thank you so much. So this is definitely in honor of her. So just know that.
We
So
need to take a moment to thank mom for
yes,
bringing us into this moment. You
yes,
know,
yes. Her
incredible.
and Rocky. Rocky is the
Yeah.
one that gave you the sweatshirt and the mug and all the good stuff. But yes, so it's, I learn a lot from you. I watch I pay attention, I observe, and I even down to noticing your how you dress on camera, right? It mattered. I thank you for the representation. Thank
Yes,
you.
it does matter. It does matter. In fact, it was so interesting because when I was joining the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, um one of the producers, had called me right before we started filming. And he was like, just FYI, all of the women, dress a particular way. Some of them, have favorites. And so if you're going to, let's say, Dorit wears Chanel, Tilly wears Dolce& and Gabbana. So if you're going to wear any of those brands, just be aware that like there could be a time when maybe you show up in the same thing. So just be aware. And the funny thing is, I heard that message, and it was funny to me because I was thinking in my head, yes, I own a lot of designer, but I don't plan to wear any of it. I only plan to wear black designers the entire
Mm-hmm.
season.
Mm-hmm.
And funny enough, it was like every time somebody would criticize me online for something I had on, I'd be like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "I didn't see you criticize that ugly ass sweater she had on, and that's Chanel."
Hello. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the season, when Vogue gave me 5 pages
Wow.
of a spread to talk about all the black designers I wore, I was like, did somebody say something? Did somebody? Because we also have to be proud of ourselves, So we're not in just this season of like showing the wealth and then showing somebody else's achievement. I'm like, I'm also the person who's going to show range. So I am bringing along black designers. I'm bringing along Balmain, although Olivier has now left that house. I'm bringing him, but I'm also bringing like who can I even name? Like
Mm-hmm.
because now I'm gonna get in trouble because I know everybody want me to say their name, and I'm like, oh my God. But okay, I'll say Jessica Rich. Okay, I wear her heels almost exclusively now. Even though it's not like there's a brand deal, there's no partnership agreement. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm supporting because I want to support, but these are choices we must make.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like we have to decide to support each other. We have to decide to use our platforms to make, our community stand up where they are and also pass along our information. So Rocky, your mom, like, those are people who are like, "Hey, look, you need this cool ass black woman right here. Take this t-shirt and this mug." And I'm like, "Okay, let me put that on my chest." And then your mom bought my book and she's like, "Oh, you should know this woman." Like that's what I'm talking about.
And also you wearing it in online to promote your, just in itself, just recognizing the fact that I'm a cool ass black woman and I'm gonna show off this cool ass black woman while I'm showing you guys this as well, because it's all about us. So it's and that to the people, that's actually how this even came about, because it was like, hold on, and I looked to people sent it to me, I was like, yo, look at her still wearing that shirt. Look, let me go get
Still
her
wearing
another
that
hoodie.
shirt all these years later. But look, but it's true because you know what the other thing is, and we have to say is that often we've also been taught this scarcity mindset, right? Where there can only be one of us or we can only do one thing at a time. And you just made an excellent point, which is that I can wear cool ass black woman shirt or promote the brand and still do the other thing that I'm doing. You know what I mean? Just because like I'm doing that doesn't mean I can't support you at the same time. And that is where we also need to get to in our own mindset, which is that it doesn't have to be scarcity. There doesn't only have to be one of us. There doesn't only have to be one brand. There doesn't only have to be one way to do something. Like we can actually bring it all together and multiply so that we multiply our successes and we multiply our wealth, we multiply our opportunities and the visibility of each other. That it doesn't have to be one thing. So to me, I'm just like, it's almost a no-brainer. I'm like, of course I can support Ashley's brand and also do this other thing.
Right. And I think some people could see it as, in a different lens. But being that I have a marketing background and I understand, like, this happened this way because this makes sense. And I talk about working together so much on my podcast when it's through post. To me, it is very important to work with one another because that's how we're gonna get out there, and that's what's happening. And that, to me, that's only the way cool as black women is happening anyway.
That's
So
it. That's it. That's it. That's it. No, but I'm very, very proud of you,
thank
for
you.
what you've done and what you continue to do. And even when, you reached out, I was just like, yeah, we got to get a conversation going. Because, also it's like, yes, there's a lot that I'm doing. There's a lot of places I have to be. But it's like, yes, I can be on the Today Show on Friday and on here on Monday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we can do that. There's
Yeah.
no reason why we can't do that.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I know we have to wrap up soon, but I wanted to ask you this question. Um, what I have found in our community with doing my research for the last 6 months is we need, period, dot, 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 right? We need. And no matter if it's business, financial support, financial literacy, education, we need. And we're lacking that as a community. And I'm wanting everybody to come together with the understanding of we need. So if there's anything that you can share with people based off of what you may know that we may need as a community, what would it be?
Hmm. Well, I mean, we've kind of started talking about it, which is that we need to uplift each other from a business standpoint, fiscal.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you're spending your money, I want you to consider whether or not whatever you're going to buy is also being produced, manufactured by a Black person, and then support that instead. We make so many choices every day fiscally. We spend our money in places that don't want us, don't care about us, all of that. And it always baffles me that it's like, even when we are priced at the same or similar, that somebody will still choose another product because they don't believe that we can deliver, you know?
Yeah.
Um, I've seen it recently, with some fashion brands like Hanifa.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it just hurt my heart, and even Jara Cole, of Ami Cole, when those two Black women, well, Hanifa is not gone. She's taking a break, but that doesn't bode well for future. Um, but it so pains me because I'm like, man, y'all be in Sephora buying all these products. Why didn't you buy theirs? Or you're online shopping, you're saving your money to buy a Gucci scarf, and you could have bought like four outfits from Hanifa.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just it always baffles me that we don't give enough weight, credence to our own. So I say if there's anything we need, it is that we need to be more fiscally responsible to each other
Yes.
so that we can actually uplift as a community. We're always like looking like, oh, like, we don't respect this, we don't respect that. My boy Lanny Smith, who runs Actively Black, man, that man like talks so much and it pains me every time I see it because I'm just like, not again. Oh my God, another thing has happened. But he's right.
Right.
It's like we do have to support each other fiscally. So it's like instead of you know, buying Nike, why are you not buying athleisure from Lanny?
Right.
It's like, and it's not as if his is like priced higher. The quality's definitely not less,
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you should be supporting that. So I would say that we need to support each other fiscally in a much more intentional way.
Mm-hmm. I do agree with that. I was looking at something actually last night that mentioned how in Texas, Jasmine Crockett actually had the black vote, all of the black vote, but everybody else didn't vote for her. 6% of other minorities. And you see how hard she's working? So when I saw that, there was also a follow up video, and the lady was like, we got beef and broccoli at home. We got Handel's ice cream at home. You could do that at home. You don't. You could put the money Spend the black dollar with a black person because you don't have to, because obviously statistics say we're still not supported. And as much as we love and we cater and we hold and we extend, we're not that. We're
No,
not that.
exactly. And the thing is that, like, look, when I started my hair and beauty company, right? People were like, oh, you're going to raise a lot of money, with investors and this and that. And well, first of all, just based on my own trauma being in corporate, I was like, I don't want to take nobody's money because I don't want anybody to tell me what to do. Okay.
Say that. That's exactly
I was
cool
like,
as
I'm
black woman.
investing my own money in myself, right?
Yes.
At the same time, I do see some of these other brands struggling, right? Because you have women, especially Black women, who have side hustles, who have businesses that they're trying to get off the ground, who don't have access to capital. And, even though it's fair to fight for the same type of, capital percentages that we see white founders being able to raise, my argument is always like, if we spent on ourselves, we wouldn't need to go ask them for money. If like we would buy our jewelry and our clothes and our mugs and our books and our sneakers, like we wouldn't need to go ask anybody else for investment. So again, that's why I keep coming back to the fiscal responsibility to each other, because you may not see it as like, oh, well, it just takes us so long. I don't know if it's going to get here. You don't know if any of these people are going to deliver for you. So why not just then spend it on Black? So for me, it's like, look, if there's any message that I am currently on, that I'm currently preaching all the time, it is that spend fiscally with Black people and help us to help ourselves.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. And that's big. It's truly big. It like you said, it pains me to watch these brands, you know, go on hiatus. But I will say, I can't lie. I was for about a year and a half. I took a step back, but also in that step back, I realized what was missing, and it was never really a "I'll see you guys later" or "I will be right back." So it's been such a great interview with you, and I want to thank you. We have so much to catch up on. I'm going to Ghana, y'all. Yeah, just yeah.
Yes. Yes, you are.
I'm going to Ghana.
Absolutely.
So I want to thank you for taking time with me and just really talking to us, authentically about your life and just what life looks like through your lens. Like that's really really huge. And I one wouldn't think that you would still experience the same things we all experience just because of your notoriety and all of the things, but it's still the same. Nothing changes. Apparently. Apparently.
Yeah. Just on a bigger stage.
Facts. Facts. Well, if there was one word that you could tell your younger self, what would it be?
I would say that no is a complete sentence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We spend so much time explaining to people why it is that, we're declining an invitation or declining a meeting or trusting our intuition, our vibes, our gut,
Mm-hmm.
and knowing that, like, I don't want to be in this room anymore, or I don't want to be in relationship with this person anymore. And we find it hard to say no and stop talking.
Right.
And I'm like, sometimes just no is the complete sentence.
Yes.
I don't need to explain anything more to you.
And what if it's okay to say no?
Exactly. And it is. It's absolutely okay to say no and keep it pushing.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Well, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for really, really sharing that. And I'm actually exercising that no button.
It is a difficult one. I'm not going to pretend like it's easy. You
Right.
just want to say yes to everybody. You want to be liked. You don't want to disappoint people and all of that. But the no will protect your peace. It'll protect your spirit. Because I think sometimes we think that we have infinite energy,
Mm-hmm.
infinite ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't. It's finite. So think about whether or not giving to that other person is worth the price that it costs to you.
Facts.
The answer is no.
Sometimes the answer is no. Well, I thank you so much, so much. Please let people know how they can find you.
Yes, well, I am on all social platforms, but mostly on Instagram at Badass Bows.
Thank you so much. And I want to leave you all with the Dear Ashley segment. Today has been such a great, inspiring moment, and I'm leaving from this conversation with a smile just because it feels good. It just feels right, and I think that the people need to hear, your voice and really know that you are really for our community and what we're doing and pushing, and you really do support us. So thank you. So dear Ashley, man, what a way to kick off Women's History Month. You are kicking it. You are kicking ass. You are doing it. You a cool ass. You just everything. And sometimes you just gotta ask, can you be here? Can I be with you? Can I stand next to you? It is okay. All right. So just go and remember, girl, it is okay. Enjoy yourself. And thank you everybody for being here. Thank you, Bose, so much. And for everybody looking for Cool Ass Black Woman, we are at www.coolassblackwoman.com. Instagram is Cool Ass Black Woman. Buy our sweatshirts. We got our new sweatshirts. And on the back it says, run your own race.
I love that.
Look, let me show you right quick. I'm going to have to send you one. Yeah.
Now, let me tell you something. Can I show you something? Now, see, now this is an alignment moment. In my office, I'm going to turn a little bit. You can see this case right here.
Yeah.
See those spikes?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Those are signed by FloJo. She signed them because I was a sprinter in high school and college, and she came to a meet that I ran in, and I ran the meet of my life. I won gold in everything I ran. And at the end of my last race, she was like, take those off, I'll sign them. And I was like, absolutely. I never wear them again, of course, because they've been in the case since then. The reason why I find it such an aligning moment is that sometimes we have a hard time staying in your lane. We're busy looking around at other people running, you looking behind you to see what's happening, and you'll end up tripping and falling, or stepping out of bounds. And what happens to a sprinter when you step out of your lane? You get disqualified. So I really love this sweatshirt, this message that you are imparting to the world. I will wear it proudly.
Thank you.
And I know that this is an aligned moment because I have these pair of spikes sitting in my office because I always want to remind myself to keep running in my own lane and running my own race.
Yes. Yes. Wow. That's great. Look, what a mic drop.
Way to end.
Yes.
Thank you, Ashley. This has been great. It's been so wonderful to meet you. I'm thankful for your mom.
Thank you.
I'm thankful for Rocky. I'm just thankful that we were able to align, and today's a great day.
Yes, today's a great day to be great. So thank you for being such a cool ass Black woman, and I'll be talking with you soon, girl.
Okay, because remember, we got to make the plans for Ghana.
Uh-huh. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.